For the summary of last week's reading, it was at the start the initiates were practicing to throw knives and the form to throw them. And Al could not throw the knives well, and Eric told him to get the knives that he threw, but he refused because he was afraid he would get hit by a knife that was being thrown by another person. Eric told all of the other initiates to leave and for him to stay, and that four would throw knives around him and that Al could not flinch or else he would show cowardice. Trish then steps in and tells them all to stop, and then Eric makes her take Al's place in getting the knives thrown at her. And then Four throws the knives at her and she doesn't flinch. And by doing that, she shows that she is brave. Trish is mad at Molly, and she gets matched up with Molly. Trish beats her and wins the fight against her, so she gets her revenge against her. It's now visiting day, and Trish's mom came to visit her, but not her dad. Trish's mom meets Four, and she thinks she knows him from somewhere, and Four seems worried. After that, Four leaves. Trish's mom then meets all of Trish's friends. After all this, Trish's mom left to go down a dark alleyway, and Trish followed her. And we now know that Trish's mom was dauntless. Al started to show his feelings for Trish the next day. Trish and her friends start discussing the aptitude test and what they got, and Trish is worried that they will figure out that she got Divergent. When all the initiates got ranked, Trish got 6th because of her win against Molly. Al got ranked 8th, and Christina got ranked 4th. Later, Edward's eye got stabbed out by Peter, so Edward and Myra quit initiation. I'm interested in this book because, all the stuff is just unpredictable, I guess, and I guess it's just a good book, too. And it's interesting with all the different factions and how something might be going on in between all of them in a big fight. And my initial reaction to the book, it's like what I thought it would be, because it's, just from the back cover, you could tell what it would kind of be about. And it's kind of sort of like Hunger Games a little bit, because it has a bunch of a few different places that people of the districts in Hunger Games and how they're all different. And in Divergent, there's 4 different factions that are all different, and they have their own different things that they do and what their focus is on. Just like within Hunger Games, they all focus on a different part of the industry. And I'm excited to keep reading the book because I think it might all be leading up to something. It seems too quiet right now. I think that something will happen eventually between all the factions. And my role for this week is fortune teller, and I already said the first part, which was just the summary, because that is in Fortune Teller. And then, one area of importance is that Trish beat Molly in a fight, and from that she gained a higher ranking, and Molly saw that she could actually be pretty good at fighting and a good asset to the Dauntless people. And another area of importance is that Edward and Myra quit initiation for Myra's low ranking, and also because Edward got his eyes stabbed out by Peter, which in the rankings saved Al but put Peter in first, taking Edward's place. One prediction I have is that Trish will have to betray one of her friends, because it says in the book that she hopes she'll never have to betray one of her friends, which could be foreshadowing. A second prediction I have is that Peter will eventually die or become factionless, just because he is cocky and he is just a bad person, kind of like Eric. And I think this is because in the book he stabbed out Edward's eye just so he could be first in the rankings. A third prediction I have is that Trish will beat Peter in a fight to become higher ranked and pass initiation, because she would want to get back at him for beating her and stabbing out Edward's eye. And the questions I had were, what do you think about Edward and Myra leaving and Edward's eye getting stabbed out? What I would hope someone would answer by is that they would say that, like, it's kind of bad because now Peter has less of competition because Edward was really good at fighting. And Myra just eliminates another person from the initiation, so it would be easier for other people. And the second question was, who was originally supposed to get knives thrown at them and why did they refuse? And I would hope someone would answer by, it was Al that was originally supposed to get knives thrown at them, and they refused because they did not want to get knives thrown at them. They didn't want to get hit by the knives and get stabbed. And my next question was, who stepped in for the target's place when they were throwing knives, and why did Eric allow this? And I would hope someone would answer by, the person who stepped in for the target's place was Trish, and Eric allowed this because he wanted to have Trish to show that she wasn't like a coward and that she was brave enough to do it. And my next question is, who do you think will pass the initiation and why? And I think someone would answer by probably Peter and Trish. And probably not Al, but I think it would be Molly might not make it either. But I think for sure it's going to be Peter and Trish. And I think that just because Trish is a main character, so she's probably going to be able to pass. And Peter is an antagonist to Trish, so he will probably just have to continue with her. In my opinion, that's what I think. And my next question is, why do you think Eric forced Trish to take Al's place? Was that test really about Trish's bravery, or was Eric trying to send a message to the entire group? I think Eric forced Trish to take Al's place because he wanted to show to everybody to, like, not talk back to him when he's trying to show something and stuff like that. and to maybe show to everybody to not be a coward. And I don't think maybe it was a little bit about Triss's bravery, but not the whole thing. I think he was trying to send a message to the whole group that it was that, like, just what I said. And the next question is, 4 acted like he was worried when he met Triss's mom. What secret do you predict is behind them? I think that they have, like, a past of knowing each other. Maybe when Triss's mom was dauntless, they knew each other somehow. But yeah, I think that they knew each other in the past. And that is all. How do I stop this video?